The Oklahoma City Thunder fall short to the Denver Nuggets in Game 3, once again, 113 to 104. And today, we're here to discuss what went wrong for Oklahoma City and what they need to do to get it together in Game 4, which feels like an absolute must win for the Thunder. Before we do that, though, as always, I want to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and you guys hit that subscribe button. But the Oklahoma City Thunder fall short once again, 113 to 104. And it purely came down to a lot of execution and, again, simple mistakes by the Oklahoma City Thunder that the Denver Nuggets just did not make. And you can chop it up to the team is too young, Denver's more experienced. I was making the excuse a lot last night of, hey, it's possibly the elevation change for Oklahoma City. Going to Denver, it's your first game there. It's a late game. And I feel like that was definitely a part of it because when you got into the fourth quarter and the overtime, some of those shots were a little short or some of them were pretty overly done. You saw a lot of those by Isaiah Hartenstein. But at the end of the day, the Oklahoma City Thunder had the lead going into the final couple 30 seconds left of the game, and they couldn't close it out. And this has been a common theme for Oklahoma City, not only this playoffs, but last playoffs as well. And to be honest, the Grizzlies should have got a game on Oklahoma City. And if they would have had Ja Morant, they probably would have. And so for Oklahoma City, I think there's this feeling in being invincible, right? We've talked about this team being invincible all year, being one of the best teams in the league. Of course, you've heard the noise about the experience isn't there. This team's got to learn how to win games in crunch time. And I agree. And games like this will definitely help them learn and only get better. But you only have so many games to figure it out. And so for Oklahoma City, time is not on your side to figure out how to win these close games. You've just got to go out there, you've got to do it, and you've got to be able to execute. And so a couple of the things that I looked at for Oklahoma City when they lost this game, the first big one to me was that Nikola Jokic did not play well at all. This might have been one of the worst Jokic games we have seen since he's been in the NBA. He played 44 minutes, went 8 of 25 from the field, 0 of 10 from 3, had 16 total rebounds, only 6 assists, and 20 points. You get that kind of stat line from Jokic, only being a +5, you probably think that Oklahoma City wins this game. But Shea goes out there, went 45 minutes, 7 of 22 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. He had 13 total rebounds, but only 18 points. And at the end of the day, when you look at when Jokic was off the floor, Oklahoma City lost those minutes. You saw guys like Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson and Christian Braun completely step up for Oklahoma City or for the Nuggets in a big way. Michael Porter Jr. was absolutely torching the Oklahoma City Thunder all night with 7 of 10 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, 8 rebounds, and 21 points. You can't beat a team when their best player, when they're off the court, is one of the worst teams all season, and you can't take advantage of that at all. And Oklahoma City, this series, I don't feel like has been really able to take advantage of the non-Jokic minutes. So when you look at something that they need to do in Game 4, this is it. You've got to win the non-Jokic minutes. SGA probably needs to be on the floor at that point. And J-Dub and Chet. And you need to open the floodgates at that point. You don't have time to be tinkering with lineups at this point and resting guys. Game 4 is a must win. You've got to win the Jokic minutes. The second thing that I looked at towards the end of the game was, and this possibly could have been because it definitely looked like in the fourth quarter and overtime, this team was a little tired, but there was just a lot of ISO hero ball coming up, right? You saw Jalen Williams playing ISO ball. Then you saw SGA, who wasn't shooting the ball well all night, trying to play hero ball, which didn't make sense to me. If you're not shooting the ball well, you probably don't need to be trying to be the hero. You probably need to be trying to draw defenders in, and then distributing the ball. But, everybody's got their own way of coaching this game and playing this game. I'm not the expert, obviously, because I'm not on the sidelines coaching and I'm not playing on the court. But it just didn't feel like the right decision to have SGA taking a game-winning shot or taking some of those shots in the final minutes when J-Dub was so hot or Chet was even playing pretty well that night. So that's another thing Oklahoma City's got to fix going into game 4 and potentially game 5, right? And game 6. You've got to go with the hot hand when it's there. The third thing that I looked at was the Thunder have obviously not had a lot of experience in crunch time. We talked about this towards the beginning. And obviously, like I said, this team doesn't have a lot of time to figure it out. They've got to go out there and they've got to be able to just execute and keep these leads when they have them. But you're starting to see the inexperience of learning how to win games. And a lot of this is because during the regular season, they didn't have their backs against the wall a ton of times in close games. Because in the third and fourth quarters, they were blowing a lot of teams out by 20 or 30 points. So in the fourth quarters, SGA was sitting on the bench. One of our favorite stat lines that Oklahoma City Thunder fans loved to throw out there during the regular season was how many points SGA had through 3 quarters and how many points SGA had overall. Because SGA was the leading scorer in the league. Through 3 quarters, I think he ended up with number 4. Through only 3 quarters. We loved that stat. But there are ramifications for that, especially when it's a young team. Because you're not learning how to win the close games. And so Denver is a very battle-tested team. They just came off of a Game 7 series with the Los Angeles Clippers. They've won a title in the past couple of years. So they know what to do to go out there and win a championship. Oklahoma City is still trying to figure that out a little bit. And so if you're Oklahoma City, I feel like you have to do what you do best in these moments. And you can't let the pressure get to you. And I don't know how Mark is going to address that. Maybe it's you got to leave a guy like Hart and Caruso on the floor a little bit longer. Give a little bit more of a vet presence. But Oklahoma City has to figure out how to execute in those late game minutes. And so you look at what Oklahoma City needs to do in game 4 to be able to pull out a win. And I don't think it's going to be particularly close in game 4. I think Oklahoma City is once again, just like game 2, going to come out with the vengeance. I don't think Oklahoma City wins that game by 40 points, but I think there's a good chance they can win by 20. If they don't, then the series is over. Oklahoma City might get one win at home, bring it to 3-2, but I think it'll come back to Denver, and Denver will close it out, and Denver will win the series 4-2. And I've called it. I thought this series was going to go 6 games. I think that is still a possibility for Oklahoma City to win it in 6 games. But it's probably looking more like 7 at this point. Oklahoma City's got to still win on the road and then win both home games, probably to close out the series. So what do they need to do to win game 4? When potentially any of these rest of these games? You've got to win the Jokic minutes. You've got to take advantage of it. You can't let the Denver Nuggets role players continue to beat you in those minutes. You're one of the best defensive teams in the league. You need to go out there and show it in those moments. Also, show that you're a top 5 offensive team in the league as well in those minutes. The second thing is you've got to go with the hot hand towards the end of the game when it's there. I don't care that SGA is your superstar and your MVP. You've got to go with the hot hand when it matters. And then lastly, this team just needs to execute. Right? They need to go out there and do what they've been doing all season. And don't let the moment be too big for you. Because I think that's been the problem for Oklahoma City too so far. It feels like the moment's been too big. So jump in the comments below, join the discussion, jump in the comments, let me know what you think. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like and you guys hit that subscribe button, and we'll see y'all next time.